How to be bad at showing that you care. Thank you, my friends, for watching another live video. This is Troy Stone King. I appreciate your time so much. This one is entitled, How to be Bad at Showing That You Care. You know, sometimes in these videos I talk about principles that I've been comfortable with for a long, long time, or I talk about things that I've just recently learned and have kind of changed my life. But sometimes I talk about events that have very recently happened and are fresh on my mind, and I want to make sure to get the message out. And that's the kind of video that we have tonight. You see, earlier this evening, my lovely bride and I, we were out to dinner at a local restaurant. And it's a place we've gone several times, and we enjoyed the food and generally the atmosphere. But this particular night, there was a party sitting just a little bit down from us, maybe 8, 9 people. But what was happening was problematic with this group. You see, there was one young woman in this group who had made a decision that a couple of the people in the group thought was a bad idea. And they had decided that they were going to berate that decision and tell her how bad an idea this was and how she was doing something that wasn't good for her life and how they wouldn't allow it. And what's worse is about halfway through the discussion, apparently it was someone at that table's birthday, so they got out little cupcakes and they sang happy birthday, and then they berated her some more, and then they all left. And when we left the restaurant, they were out in the parking lot berating her some more. So much so that she cried multiple times during this whole event. This went on for a very, very long time. I got to tell you, there were a lot of things wrong about this. And I'm going to go through the things that were wrong, some of them, and I'm going to kind of talk about how you do it right, because maybe some of us don't think about specific aspects of how to actually confront someone when they're making maybe a bad decision. So let's talk about what was going wrong here. In this particular situation, first of all, big mistake, public place. Public place. You don't have a discussion with someone about something that is private in that fashion in a public place. You never berate another person in front of other people. You just don't. It's very bad for how it makes you look, and it's terrible for this person's self-esteem. Here's the second thing. They made the person cry. Now, I know there are legitimate times when we cry, and that's okay. But berating someone to the point where they cry because of how you're attacking them is horrible and completely unnecessary. Here's the third factor. It was clear they cared more about their opinions than this person's feelings. They cared more about their opinions than the person's feelings. And finally, they were trying to control someone else's life. This girl seemed to be a young adult. And they were trying to tell her how to live her life, how she should do it according to what they thought was the right path. So several things wrong with how that situation was handled. Let's talk about a better way. First of all, when you've got a conflict with someone and you need to have that difficult conversation, it should always be one-on-one. It should be you or me and the other person, and that's it. That's it. No one else needs to be involved at that point in the conversation. It's one-on-one, of course. And number two, it's always in private. You're going to do this in a private place, at home or somewhere else where there's not a bunch of other people around. Third, lead with love. Lead with love. Remember, the goal is not always, first point, to change the behavior. The goal should first be to encourage the relationship, to let the other person know how much we care for them, let the other person know how much we love them. Now, I'm guessing that in the situation we experienced tonight, the people that were berating the other girl, they believed in their hearts that they loved her. And they believed in their hearts they were doing something good for her. But that's not how it came across to her. It was very clear from her reaction that what came across to her was, These people are trying to tell me what to do. They don't believe in they don't believe my opinion at all, and they don't care to listen to my opinion, and they're just yelling at me. Lead with love. Always be gracious in these situations. The Bible says it this way: speak the truth in love. Speak the truth in love. So say what you need to say, but in a gentle and caring and loving fashion. Now, here's the fourth point. Even in a conflict, we need to always listen to the other person's opinion. We need to always hear their point of view. You see, we need to respect the other person, whether or not we agree with their opinion. Let me say it again. We need to respect the other person, whether or not we agree with their opinion. When our method of resolving conflict tears another person down, then we're making the relationship be more damaged. And by the way, when I'm listening to the other person's opinion, I'm hearing their point of view, I should not be in the middle of formulating my rebuttal. I really should be paying attention to them. I really should be hearing what they're saying and trying to understand it, because sometimes, well, I'll get to that in the sixth step. Here's the fifth one. Give people the opportunity to make their own life decisions. Give people the opportunity to make their own life decisions. I'll bet you know situations where parents of grown children have continued to try to control those children's lives. Now, the parents of the grown children, with their longer experience, can probably see pitfalls ahead and potential places where the grown child is eventually going to have a problem with the path that they're on. But you can't always change their minds, and you shouldn't always try. Speak the truth in love, but you've got to let people make their own decisions. We've got to give people the opportunity to make their own mistakes. You know why? Because we did too. And finally, if I'm the person who is trying to help the other, I need to remember that I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes in the past. I'll make mistakes in the future, and I need to treat them with the grace that I understand that I'm not perfect as well. And if I spend time understanding their point of view, I may eventually change my mind and realize, oh, I didn't understand that perspective. Perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps I'm wrong. So, my friends, this video is entitled, How to Be Bad at Showing You Care. But I kind of wrapped it up with how to be great at showing love. So I hope that you got some value out of this. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like button. Let me know that this topic was good for you. And also, if you think it was valuable enough to share with other people, feel free to do so. I'm making public for a reason. I want other folks to get these messages as long as you think they're valuable for your friends and family as well. Check out the rest of my videos over at my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Troy Stoneking, youtube.com/Troy Stoneking. Thank you again, my friends, and have a wonderful rest of your day.